Very good morning and welcome to this Friday session of Yoga Live. Come to sit comfortably and sit tall. Lift the sides of the trunk, open the chest. Take the arms out to the side, lengthen the wrists away from each other and join your palms. Soften the abdomen and focus on your breath. Pull up the lungs from the hip to the armpit. Breathe out, softening the abdomen. We'll begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Slowly release your hands. Open your eyes. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Lift the crown of the head and sit tall. Place your fingertips on the floor. Straighten your legs. And change the crossing of the legs. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the rib cage. Interlock your fingers in front of you. Rotate at the wrist. Turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. For today's session, we are going to hold the poses slightly longer. As you breathe in, lift the armpits away from the hips. Lift the elbows away from the armpits. And lift the wrists. Feel the stretch and the elongation of the sides of the trunk, the back body and the front body. Now hold the pose and focus on the breath. Breathing in from the hip to the armpit. Pull up the sides of the trunk with the breath. Hands. Change the bind of your interlock. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Once again, breathing in, raise up the arms. Our palms in line with the ear. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Lift the wrists. Spread the palms and spread the fingers. Pin the hips down. And now breathe in from the hips to the armpits. We'll take 3 long breaths in each posture. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Your right hand behind you in line with the spine. Take your left hand over the right. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Keep the abdomen soft. Focus on the breath. Softening the abdomen each time you twist. Now try to stay in the posture, fix your pose, and focus on the breath. breath in from the hip to the armpits. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Change sides. Take your left hand behind you. Take your right hand over the left knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blade, and move the chin. Keep the abdomen soft. And you breathe out, move the navel, soften the abdomen, and twist a little more. Now fix your pose and focus on full inhalation from the hip to the armpit. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Slowly release. Release your posture. Wrap your palms and fingers around the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Breathing in, raise up the head. And as you breathe out, draw the chin to the chest. Feel the length of the cervical spine. And keep the chin there. Focus on the softness of the abdomen each time you breathe out. Breathe in from the hip to the armpit. And breathing out, soften the abdomen. Up your fingers once more. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up the arms. Lift the armpits away from the hips. Lift the wrist and lift the elbows. Keep the trunk extended. And now straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Keep the legs extended. Push your thighs down. Push the backs of the knees down. And lift the armpits and lift the wrist. Now focus on the breath from the hip to the armpit. Keeping the legs engaged at the same time. The legs are engaged, the thighs are pressing down, the backs of the knees are pressing down, your heels are pushing away from you, your toes towards you, and lift the trunk. Breathe out and release your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Take your fingertips slightly behind the hip. Keep the legs extended. Soften the abdomen, lift the chest and take the head. Openness of the chest, the softness of the abdomen, and the lift of the sternum. Can you breathe into the area of the upper chest? Hold your legs in once more. Take your fingertips out to the side. Raise up the left arm. Now focus on the extension from the hip to the armpit and the armpit to the wrist. Walk your right hand across. Pin the left buttock down and stretch the left side. Feel the extension of the left side. Now breathe into the left side of the lung as you stretch the armpit away from the hips. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Feel the breath running from the hip to the armpit. The moment the breath touches the armpit, soften the abdomen and breathe out. Change sides. Extend the right side from the hip to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrist. Walk your left hand across. Navel and sternum faces forward. Now pin your buttock down and stretch the right side. Now breathe into the right side of the trunk, from the hip to the armpit. Back the right side of the trunk. When the breath touches the armpit, soften the abdomen and breathe out. Although you are in the posture, the focus is on the breath. Roll the shoulders back. Take your fingertips slightly behind the hip. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body. And breathe into the space created in the upper chest. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Come onto your knees. Take the knees wide, sit on your heels. Take support between your heels and the buttock if you need to. Roll the shoulders back. Now feel the space in the lower abdominal area. Feel the space in the sides of the trunk and feel the space in the upper chest. Take your fingertips slightly behind you. Roll the shoulders back and feel the full width of the trunk and the length of the trunk at the same time. Breathing out completely, soften the abdomen. Now breathe in from the pubic area to the navel. From the navel to the sternum. And from the sternum, take the breath Y shape into the heads of the shoulders. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Don't rush the breathing. Take a few normal breaths in between. Now breathe out completely and breathe in from the pubic area to the navel, from the navel to the sternum, and from the sternum take the breath Y-shaped to the heads of the shoulders. Up the lungs. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Take a few normal breaths in between. Breathe out completely. And breathe in from the hip to the armpit. And feel the breath running up the side walls of the trunk as you breathe in. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen and release. Hands forward. Take both your fingertips along the right side of the thigh, along the right thigh. Walk your hands across. Pin the left buttock down and stretch the trunk over the right thigh. And now breathe into the left side of the lung. Feel the breath running from the hip to the armpit. And feel the breath running up the back body as you breathe in. When the breath touches the armpit, soften the abdomen and breathe out. Walk your hands back to center and over to the left. From the right buttock down, stretch across. Release your trunk over the left thigh, but feel the stretch on the right side. Breathe in from the hip to the armpit. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Back. Roll the shoulders back. Take your fingertips slightly behind your hip. Lift the armpits. Lift the chest. Breathe in. And feel the breath running up the side of the trunk, the back body and the front body as you breathe in. Think of your trunk as a canister and fill up the breath. From the pubic area to the navel, up the side of the trunk, the back body and the front body. There's no need to rush. A full breath in. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen and release the breath. Your hands. Draw your thighs together. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, and move the chin. Can you settle into the posture? And focus on just the breath. A full breath in. As you breathe out, release the area around the navel and soften the abdomen. Change sides. Take your left hand behind you, take your right hand over the left knee, breathe in. And as you breathe out, move your navel, move your shoulder blades and move the chin. Feel the breath running up the side of the trunk, the back body and the front body as you breathe in. Slowly release. Roll the shoulders back. Take the arms out to the side, turn the palms to face up. Breathe in and raise up the arm. Our palms in line with the ear. Turn the palms to face front and stretch the armpit. Soften the abdomen. The breath running from the hip to the armpit and the armpit to the wrist. Your palms to face away from you. Feel the breath running up the sides of the trunk from the hip to the armpit. As you breathe out, release your hands. Roll the shoulders back and come to lie flat on your back. Keep your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Straighten out your legs. Take the legs slightly wider. And now breathe in from the pubic area to the navel. Navel to the sternum. And from the sternum to the heads of the shoulders. Once the breath touches the heads of the shoulders, soften the abdomen and release the breath. Do normal breaths in between if you find it tiring on the lungs. So we're going to breathe out completely and breathing in from the pubic area to the navel, pulling up the sides of the trunk, from the navel to the sternum, pulling up the sides of the trunk and from the sternum to the heads of the shoulders. Once the breath touches the heads of the shoulders, breathe out and release the navel completely. Can you now slower the inhalation and slower the exhalation? Feel the breath touching the inside walls of the trunk as you breathe in. Breathing out, soften the abdomen and release. Place both your hands on the abdomen. A full breath in. As you breathe out, feel the abdomen release to the floor. Feel the navel release to the floor. And feel the abdominal organs release to the floor. Breathing out. Release the navel to the floor. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Up your right arm all the way past the right hip. Roll over onto your right hand side. Come to sit. Sit in any comfortable posture. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the distance from the hip to the armpit. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the openness in the upper chest. Keep the abdomen soft. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lift the crown of the head and draw the chin to the chin. Keep the face soft, keep the chest open. Draw the elbows towards the sides of the tongue to help keep the chest open. Move the lower shoulder blade slightly into the body. Establish your posture and now focus on the breath. A full breath in from the pubic area to the navel. Let the breath touch the sides of the trunk. Then breathe in from the navel to the sternum. And from the sternum to the heads of the shoulders. As you breathe out, maintain the height of the armpits and just release the breath. Soften the abdomen. Continue this for a few rounds. Keep the face soft. Keep the cervical spine long, keep the chest open. Full breath in. When the breath touches the armpit area or the heads of the shoulders, soften the abdomen and release the breath. Now slower the process. Breathe in from the pubic area to the navel slowly. From the navel to the sternum. From the sternum to the heads of the shoulders. Breathe out and soften the abdomen and release the breath. Now breathe in, feel the breath running up the back of the body as you breathe in. The abdomen as you release the breath. Slowly raise up the head. Turn the palms together. Now, the sides of the trunk, the back body, and the front body as you breathe in. As you breathe out, soften the abdomen and release the breath. One more slow, long, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. Up the head, release your hands, and open your eyes. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we will meet on Monday again. Thank you.